for some Type 40, a little extra helping of Type 40 for you here on the Spacebook channel with me, Dan Hadley, Birmingham's king of the geeks. Welcome to Type 40 Extra. It's our before show, after show, and in between show to all the Type 40 podcasts and Type 40 live streams that we put out for you here on the Spacebook channel or over across the podcatchers with the Fandom Podcast Network. This is a chance for us to chill and take stock of other things going on in time and space, all the little cracks in between the fixed points that we can expand and chat about and get into. More on that in a moment. If you haven't already, please like the video now, subscribe to the channel. If you think you're subscribed, please go and check again, because YouTube have been removing subscribers. I had no idea why, but they do these things from time to time. So just check that you're still subscribed and hit the cloister bell to get all the notifications about what we're doing next and when we're doing it around this old girl over the Christmas and New Year period, and as we head into 2023 and that 60th anniversary year. Okay, what is it this time? What is it this time? Well, it seems to me quite simply that Christopher Eccleston will say yes to anything and everything except the Doctor Who 60th anniversary special, won't he? Has he? Will he? Well, it looks like it to me. So I'll come to that in a couple of seconds. This is where I've dragged this one from. I've got some news today. I saw this on, I think it was on Twitter, from TV Zone UK. They broke it. So I was really surprised to see that Christopher Eccleston was actually appearing on British TV over the Christmas and New Year period. And here are the details. It's the Would I Lie to You Christmas special. And the blurb says Christopher Eccleston, Sophie Willan, Gus Kahn, and Gloria Hunniford. Oh, Gloria Hunniford, I know who she is. Joined David Mitchell and Lee Mack for the game show, trying to hoodwink their opponents with festive fibs and facts about themselves, whose family hold a festive sweepstake to decide what time they will fall asleep on Christmas Day. And did one of the ex-teacher panelists really play walk-on music to impress the pupils when they entered the classroom? Rob Brydon hosts the festive fun. Festive fun. I wonder if you can claim your license fee money back there if they don't deliver that festive fun. Well, it's probably another question for another time, isn't it? But yeah, if you haven't seen this show, Would I Lie to You is it's a BBC series. It's on BBC One, and it began in 2007. So, God, yeah, this is a long-standing show, perennial show. The 16 seasons, 142 episodes, and the idea is that it's a panel show in which these sort of celebrity guests all come on. There's two regular hosts, just like there is on two regular team captains, just like there is on Have I Got News for You and never mind the Buzzcocks and all those shows. And they invite guest panelists on to sort of join in with what is a glorified sort of parlor game, really. So they have to try and convince one another all these believable and unbelievable liars, and they work out which one's the truth and which one isn't. So yeah, it's always been hosted by Rob Brydon from Gavin and Stacey, who I can sort of take him or leave him, really. Seems like a nice guy. He's in the dead center of this and surrounded by David Mitchell, who, well, David Mitchell's a Doctor Who fan. So I'll be kind. David Mitchell and Lee Mack, of course, you may recognize as one of the guest actors of the Doctor Who story Kablam. He was, I can't remember who he played in that, but he was sort of everyman character, wasn't he? The guy in the overalls. But over here in the UK, he's quite a big figure. He's been a long-running sitcom now for a few years. Yeah, and I was really startled to see the Ninth Doctor here in the lineup for this Christmas special. So why will he do this and not Doctor Who? Chris is a big talent, but he's a man who is all about, isn't he? All about authenticity and integrity, all about the work. And in recent years, since he started speaking, because he was silent for so long, but in recent years, he's had some pretty damning things to say about the BBC as an entity, and where it is, where it's placed at the moment in British culture, and the sort of things that they screen, as well as his own experiences working, not least of all, on Doctor Who at BBC Wales back in 2004. Now, Would I Lie to You, to me, is a big representative of exactly the kind of phony corporate stuff that Chris Eccleston has been publicly railing against now for several years. It's a heavily scripted and contrived show presented by, let's be honest, a few guys who are a decade plus past their prime. So it's a bit like Have I Got News for You in that respect. And it represents the safest brand of humour probably since they axed Last of the Summer Wine. There's nothing that in this show that actually feels alive or spontaneous or in any way authentic. It just seems like the antipathy to everything that Christopher Eccleston himself stands for. Chris Eccleston is, of course, he played the Ninth Doctor for us, but he's a two-time BAFTA award nominee, best known for television and film work, not so much the stage. He's done some stage work, as I'm sure you know. He's 58 years old, and every chance he gets, he's talking about how seriously he takes his craft, which is absolutely fine. I think we all respect him for that, don't we? And his role as the Ninth Doctor in Doctor Who cast quite a long shadow, didn't it? I think that series one. It's even if the Ninth Doctor isn't one of your favourites, I think few people would argue that series one itself is full of some real gold that stood the test of time. And he left a big mark on this show that even an actor like David Tennant struggled to shake off for a little while. So why on earth is he there on Would I Lie to You? I mean, was the pay really that good? Did he just fancy a laugh? Did they catch him on a good day? I've absolutely no idea. But it does gore me a little that you can see this actor who, and I genuinely like Christopher Eccleston, you know, as a man. Every time I see him interviewed, I think he comes across as just a decent guy who wants to do good work. And since he's been engaging with the fans, he does seem to like us and like the interaction and get something from it. It does seem like a two-way street with Christopher Eccleston. But why on earth is he so stern and so unshifting about not appearing in Doctor Who anymore? I've got some quotes. He hasn't spoken about it directly since March of 2022, and these are the last quotes that we had. This was from an Australian convention called Supernova back in March, and they pressed him about it there. As we do that, don't we? Fans in the audiences, they take their moment, choose their time carefully, hopefully smile at the actor. He smiles back, and then they ask questions like this. And Chris said, I've never been a fan of multi-doctor stories. When I worked on the series, I had really strong ideas about what works and what doesn't. I always think that multi-doctor stories are a bit of a cash-in and a bit of exploitation. Again, there's the authenticity. There's Christopher Eccleston, the serious actor, the man who respects the audience. And I don't think there's anything that's more exploitative or an easier payday than going on Would I Lie to You myself. But he went on to say, creatively, they never worked for me. I looked at the script for the 50th anniversary. I felt as soon as I said I wasn't doing it, it got better because, well, if I'm not in it, it's better. So there he is, Christopher Eccleston. He's very self-deprecating, I suppose we could say. Very, very modest man. And it's a way of kind of making light of the situation, really, when he knows that people are disappointed that he's not on screen anymore. But does this mean, in all seriousness, that he's not going to be there and wouldn't entertain the thought of coming back for 2023? In all seriousness, I've never been completely convinced, because he did finish off with saying, because obviously he's been playing the Doctor again, hasn't he, for Big Finish. He's been doing that now for about 2.5 years. I think there are about 6 box sets in. It tends to be just the Doctor with a set of characters that kind of rotated. There's no companions as such, and he's quite firm about that there shouldn't be any other companions pre-Rose. I get where he's coming from there. So he's got these very definite ideas, hasn't he, about the character and about his corner of the Doctor Who universe. But when he expanded a little about the anniversary prospects, he ended by saying this: the Ninth Doctor in particular is a one-man band, definitely. So he doesn't work with other Doctors. If you want me back, you'd get me on my own. And I've always believed, in all seriousness, that there's more to this. It's not a no. You know, for several years, it was a definite no, wasn't it? This isn't a no. It's a maybe, but only if. So what do you think? is it possible that Christopher Eccleston could, if he's going to do tat like Would I Lie to You? I mean, come on. Then why wouldn't he come back for the 60th anniversary of Doctor Who? Is the whole thing a red herring? Now, if you ask any of the other doctors out there, they don't know anything that's going on. Somebody asked Matt Smith quite recently. I think he was at Wimbledon. Yes, he was at Wimbledon this year, and somebody took the time to ask him, and would you go back to Doctor Who? Are you coming back to Doctor Who? And he said, maybe, if it was the right script. I mean, I don't know if I've got too old now. It would have to be really right. Matt Smith's only 40. He knows he's not too old to play that part. David Tennant's running around at 52, or at least he was earlier this year. So I think we know that Matt Smith didn't really mean that. He knows he's not too old for that part. But at the moment, he's claiming that he's not in it. Apparently, Peter Capaldi, he says he's not remotely interested in doing it at all. That was, I think it was at a premiere recently, he was talking about that, wasn't it? No, it was the Scottish BAFTAs when he got that award, wasn't it? So yeah, he said, it's not something I'm interested in doing for the time being. Oh, no. I think that Mr. Capaldi doth protest too much. I wouldn't take that as gospel either. But we do have this from David Tennant. Now, those guys, you think, let's take them at their word. They wouldn't lie to their fandom, would they? But would they? Would David Tennant lie to the fandom? Because according to David Tennant, he says about the 60th anniversary that's already been filmed. We filmed with a lot of other people on a closed set. You're nowhere near the whole story. Stay tuned. So somebody is lying. Either David Tennant's lying, and I don't think David Tennant would lie about that. I don't think he'd lie about. I think he'd lie about his own activities. But he knows he's been exposed now. We've seen him running around. We've seen him at the costume. We've seen him regenerate on screen now. So he knows and knew when he said that the game was up. But he does say there's other people out there who have got the harder part of keeping quiet. We're also going to quote from Paul McGann. Now, Paul McGann obviously turned up in The Power of the Doctor, but he was asked over the summer, would you be back? Would you come back? You know what? I'm ready, and I'm kind of hoping it happens. So he's another one there. His hat has never been out of the ring, never mind throwing it back in. I refuse to believe that all of these gentlemen are completely out as prospects for whatever we haven't seen in the 60th anniversary. And the way I see it, genuinely, if Christopher Eccleston will take a paycheck from a crappy show like Would I Lie to You, then why wouldn't he potentially be in the 60th anniversary? Am I being hopelessly optimistic? Let me know what you think in the comment section. How many doctors would you like there, come to think of it? I mean, we know, I think in an age now where we've got 15 incarnations of the Doctor played by however many actors, that's a lot of doctors, isn't it? How do you feel about recasts? Which of these actors would you like to see brought back? And is it essential that old doctors come back? I mean, it does seem to be a moot point. I'd say it's nailed on from what David Tennant said that somebody is coming back. But could they have actually pulled off the biggest upset of them all? Could Christopher Eccleston be back? Because if this is his proviso, as long as he works alone, and we've seen David Tennant running around, looks like he's working alone, or he's with Catherine Tate, but he's alone. He's not working with other doctors in the footage that we've seen. So maybe there's other people, other doctors that are filmed in one of those enormous studios that they've got at Bad Wolf Studios. These are big. We've seen, haven't we, those leaked pictures of the new TARDIS. So you've got a fair idea the size of some of the studios there. So I think it's more than possible that either Chris or Matt or both of them could well be back and have filmed extensively in an enclosed space there for something that we're yet to see. We won't get to see it until November. It looks like it's all coming in November. That's when Doctor Who's back for those 3 specials. Hour-long specials, all written by Russell T. Davies, of course. And seriously, though, if Would I Lie to You is your bag, there's no listed. When's that on? Would I Lie to You at Christmas is on Friday, the 30th of December, 2022 at 8:30 p.m. even on BBC One for 30 minutes. So yeah, that's, I don't know, it might be worth a giggle. Bit of a novelty to see the Doctor squirm, maybe. See how good an actor Chris Eccleston really is. I don't know. Let me know what you think of all of it. Am I being too harsh on Would I Lie to You? What do you think? Let me know in the comments section. And what do you think of the 60th anniversary? Could they have pulled it off after all? I'd love to know. Don't forget, check out all the other videos up on the channel that could be a Type 40 extra like this one, either me rambling on at you like this in the kind of video diary style, or with some of my guests, like people from Type 40 Live, like Sarah, JT, Ian, Simon, everybody else. But yeah, you can catch up with previous editions of Type 40 Live. Of course, too, the last two big wintry shows, there's Type 40 Live, Cold Front there with Millie Gibson on the cover, and that was where we looked at those leaked photos of the new TARDIS, wasn't it, amongst other things, and speculated, could Captain Jack be coming back to Doctor Who? And then there was our big Christmas party for 2022, where we got stuck into some silly party games with the hooligans from Avenue Who, and heaven knows what else went on in that show. I was quite ill when we recorded that. It's a bit of a blur, but that's up on the channel. That's up on the channel now too. So yeah, that's about it for this time. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the cloister bell to get all the notifications about what we're doing next and when we're doing it. And what are your thoughts on Chris Eccleston? Is he taking the slash by going on Would I Lie to You and refusing to commit to the 60th anniversary special of Doctor Who? Over to you. Take care. Speak soon. Bye bye. Bye bye.